You sit together and watch Vase bark orders at the other young soldiers. And a bunch of mindless drones. Not all of them, Rick says. Some of them are pretty nice, but everyone on the Helio listens to Vase, you know? And he doesn't like me, so that means I've always been an outsider, whether I want it or not. They're friendly to me, I guess. But it's not the same as having friends. Not like you or know me. It's fine, though, he says, shrugging dismissively. You don't have to like someone to hook up with them. I kind of like being the one everyone comes to if they just want to have a good time. Man whore for life. What's the deal with you and Vase? Hello everyone, and welcome back to I Was the Teenage Exocolonist. Last time we... now that I think about it, I don't rightly remember. We sure did stuff last time, though. Oh, yes. Lum kind of made his war declaration... Well, not war declaration, kind of... You Stratos people suck, and created a divide speech. Okay. We did a lot of exploring, if I remember correctly. Sorry, it's been a long week, I guess. Damn. We maxed out Anemone's friendship. I do remember that. Okay, and I think we did most of the exploring we need to do, if not all. Ridge is definitely done. Valley is done. Plains is done, and no point in exploring nearby, really. Okay, so yeah, shoot, I guess that's it. Okay. So how's our friendship with everybody looking? They're at max. Cal's at 80. Tangent's at 76. Mars is at 75. Nomi 39. Rex 56. Hi, congruence. You rocketh my socketh. Okay, so what do we want to do? Let's want all mental skill increases. Might be worth doing a bit of reasoning then. Let's actually go to a class for once. We could also work in the supply depot to up our organizing. But it's been forever since we've actually done a class. So why not? Two biology, don't need that. Ironically, more reasoning with engineering than engineering. 2 creativity, 2 persuasion. Plus 3 reasoning, empathy, and friendship with Nomi. Yeah, okay, that seems pretty worth. You hear a scuttling of metallic legs. What the heck? And a strange knee-high robot bursts into your engineering lab, going full tilt on its 6 spidery legs. It slams into a wall hard enough to knock itself down. It seems to be having trouble getting back up again, and is flailing its metal legs around dangerously. Put it back in the hall. Nope. Nah, we'll fix it. Oh, Garrett, thank you, Congruence says, wheeling in on her portable screen. I was running diagnostics on the little fellow. When it broke away, it made a run for it. I totally forgot what voice he gave Congruence. I really need someone to be my hands here, she continues. Everything used to be easier with Hal around. I miss him. Oh cool, robot repair. Congruence doesn't need to clear her throat, but you get the distinct impression she's simulating it anyway. If you want to come help me in the robotics lab, just come down anytime. That might be worth. 1 slot gets +3. Oh, that's handy. Possibly. I could use a redraw on this one, to be honest. You know what? Sure. We never do this. Boop! Give me some more intelligence cards. Yeah, baby. We can make that work. 41, 42. Oh wow, that's actually not enough. Interesting. Kind of drew a not so good hand. Okay, okay. Well then, what if we do this? That is a little bit better. Then 44. What's our stress like? 60. We're gonna have to rest soon anyway, so what if we do that for a 53? Nice. 7 reasoning. That was enough to bump us up to a perk. You love to see it. Alright, mid-wet. Let's go, let's go. What do we get? Blue cards get +1 in mental challenges. Yeah, that makes sense. We can do a what? Oh, it's 40. Okay. Nothing new there. Nothing new. Nothing new. Okay. Honestly, I think we can stand to do that again. Upped our reasoning a whole bunch. We could also maybe go fix some robots. We'll want to spend the last month of wet resting for whatever happens in glow. Pair robots. +3 engineering, 2 creativity, 1 with Nomi Nomi, kudos, and stress. Nah, we'll do this one because we want the reasoning more. Oh, and there's Nougat again. Finally. Today you're tutoring Nougat and a couple younger kids in ancient Earth geography. They're learning the names of the countries by pointing to them on maps and saying a few facts about them. Seems kind of pointless to memorize places that these kids will never see, but it's not like you can teach them much about Vertumnan geography yet. You're still discovering it. Billions of people, Nougat says, skeptically squinting at a hollow projection of Earth. How do they fit everybody into one little planet with all the trees and animals and stuff? Was it all like one big colony? Learning about Earth 2. Telling a gentle tale. Of course that's got Tammy on it. +2 to neighboring cards. Dodge the question. Tell her the sad truth. It's nice to live in ignorance, but Nougat's going to learn the truth just like you did in humanities class. You tell her life on Earth was brutal and hard. Humanity destroyed the environment and fought over what was left. There were no trees or animals left. Not as many as there should have been, anyway. Most people were poor, hungry, and sick, and the ones who weren't kept all the nice things for themselves. At least your parents were lucky to escape on the stratospheric, and you were lucky to be born on it. You're all lucky here, now. To be here now. No matter what, at least Vertumna isn't Earth. Nougat looks bewildered. She doesn't really watch holovids, only the cheerful ones for kids that don't address Earth's decline, so she had no idea. But they still had really, really tall buildings, right? To fit all the people? She asks. You sigh and tell her they did, and she nods in satisfaction and goes back to her schoolwork. We don't get any other stats on her. Which makes sense, she's a fair bit younger. Ooh, the end card gets +3, that's not bad. Okay, so what if we go boom, 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 boom. Maybe not this one, although that is a 62. If we do this, 45. I guess the flush just gives way better. And we have a pseudo streak going on here. Sure. We'll take a 62. Apparently it was the best we could have. Another +7 to our reasoning. Only +1 empathy each time, though, which is sad. But we are getting Nomi points, too. So, you know, that's not bad. Either way, we have to do a rest here so that we are able to do what we need to do. Her birthday is right now, so we should give her a present. Take a flower. And that pushed her above 90, I think, or 80. 80. Okay, and then we also still have the 40 reasoning event with her. You spot Tange heading behind the engineering wing and follow, only to find she's disappeared. Then you look up and see an access ladder leading to a maintenance platform by the engine turbines. Long, silent, and starting to rust. Nice art. Are those cigarettes or like headphones? What are those? You climb up to the platform. Tange is there, lying on her back and staring at the sky. A hatch beside her leads back into engineering. That must be how she knows about this place. She doesn't acknowledge you until you're almost standing over her, your shadow fighting the overcast light. She blinks with the sluggishness of someone who's only just remembered it's a necessity, and licks her lips before she speaks. Do they need me in there? You shake your head, and Tange doesn't sigh in relief, exactly, though her eyes slip closed again. Good, she murmurs. It's all too much right now, I thought. Her mouth twitches. I don't know what I thought. I don't know what I'm doing up here. Annie, are you okay? Tange huffs a small laugh and folds her hands over her stomach. You know, I think I may be burned out. Or depressed. In Earth movies, depressed teenagers would sneak out onto the rooftops, she says. Might confess, I don't think I see the appeal. Maybe it would be better if I had alcohol or cigarettes. She shakes her head. Blanking out your mind with substances is what my mom used to do, not me. Yeah, as much as I'd love to go for that, we'll go for a Tange life or a harem life another day. Tange smiles, self-effacing, and doesn't look at you. I don't think so, she says. Maybe. Will you sit with me? You lie down beside Tange and watch the gentle revolution of the sky for a few minutes. You can feel the caginess seep out of Tange as you lie there in silence, until finally she speaks. Siblings are alike. Do you ever think about humanity? She asks, slowly. Humans are such a glorious, beautiful, utterly self-destructive thing, she continues. They only ever create by destroying, and in turn, they hasten their own demise. Tange finally looks at you, her hollow eye lighting up her cheekbones. She looks gaunt. It was the belief in human supremacy and unchecked innovation that doomed humankind on Earth. Does it seem, she says, does it seem we're going down the same path here, on Vertumna? I believe we can do better here. Excuse me? -1 helped Tangent. Oh, that reeks of, hidden routing. I'm encouraging her. So how is that -1? Interesting. Tange takes a deep breath and lets it all out. I think so too. I just don't know how. I don't know if any of us do. We're only human. Sometimes I wonder, she continues, then pauses. Sometimes I wonder why we even sent humans to explore space. Given our track record, you would think. Perhaps an artificial intelligence would have been wiser. No ego to get in the way. No questions about ethics or morality. After all, we learned in Earth history that when human colonists traveled from Europe to the Americas, they nearly killed everyone who already lived there because they spread disease. Tange looks at her hands. I just can't help but wonder if we're doing the right thing. I guess she can't have empathy because she's the science lady. If that's maybe what it's trying to get at. The hatch to the laboratory clangs open and Tange jumps. There you are! Instant says, just her head and shoulders visible through the hatch. Have you finished recalibrating that strand sequencer yet? Tange scrambles to her feet and brushes off the seat of her pants. No, not yet, she says. I was waiting on the results from BH 4316, and Instance clicks her tongue against her teeth and raises a head to interrupt Tange. They're ready, she says. I need that sequencer ready for the G4100 samples. Her eyes flick to you. If you're done, she adds icily. Yes, ma'am, Tange says, cowed, and slides into the hatch after Instance. As her head disappears past the roofline, you catch a fleeting hint of an expression on her face you can't name. So it seems we need to, like, encourage her to screw the planet, only focus on humanity's betterment. To get the +1 helped tangent. Which is interesting, very interesting. Very interesting. We are definitely getting close to the end of this playthrough. We're either entering the final year or the penultimate year in a moment. Obviously, I want to do more playthroughs on the channel here. You know, I can tell this is the kind of game where your first playthrough is kind of just your basic getting to know everyone, getting to know the parameters, starting down the path you need for true everyone is happy and everyone lives kind of stuff. But considering how long it took us to get through the first playthrough, I don't think we're going to want to do a full coverage of every playthrough. I think for the second life, we'll kind of do as we did. I won't really cut much out. But after that, do you guys still want to see full playthroughs? Or kind of just more edited down to the major choices? It's tough, of course, because this is the kind of game where you can't really skip a whole lot, even if you are, like, rushing through it. Because there's a lot of context for the new stuff, you know what I mean? Anyways, I want to ask you guys that now, before we quite get to the end. Get a better sense of how you, the viewers, would like to see Exocolonist continue forward. Because I definitely would like to get all the endings. Like, I wanna keep going, you know? For now, let's study with Tangent. You offer to help Tangent with her schoolwork, but she just shrugs you off. I'm not working on school anymore, she says. Chief Engineer Instant says I'm smart for my age. My talents are wasted in school. Smart for my age. That's a gem card. She opens her holopalm and shows you some of her lab notes. Ugh, it's so much work, though, she complains. Honestly, maybe it would be better to be like everyone else. Unintelligent people seem happier. Cool. Just then, Nemi jogs by with a squad of soldiers all marching in time. She gives you a little wave, then cringes as the leader barks at her to keep her eyes forward. 10 shudders. On second thought, forget I said that. I'll keep being smart, thank you. Cool. Good progress with you. What's up, Rextifer? Nothing new with you. Nothing new with Mars. There's a semi-new line just asking where Dice was. If he's out playing soldiers. Yeah, go fuck yourself, Face. Really don't care about you. Yay! We get to do... Okay. I mean, we kind of don't want to waste the de-stress if it's like every half a year or something. So we'll do that in quiet, I think. We will relax on the field, or in the park, because then we'll get some friendship with Cal. More pet bonds. The White Astrantia. These are both decent cards. what are we working with in terms of blue? Yeah, I kind of don't want to forget either of these. Also, we didn't get any friendship with Cal. That's unfortunate. I totally thought we did. Oh, you know, I could have done the relaxing this month, since doing a glow expedition is kind of pointless. I'll still probably go check it out, though. Might be able to talk to Noctilicent. Or at least Sim. Well, you can give her a new thing. Have another flower then. Anything new with Nemi? Oh, the opportunity to spend time together is gone. Interesting. Is it just because it's glow and everyone's tense? Gives us bravery. Oh, we're already maxed out with that, though. Alright, let's see what we got available to us. Definitely take your crystals. What's this give us again? Timey-wimey wormhole stuff. I guess we'll take another one of those. And we'll trip. Worth getting. There's Sim, and he definitely has some new dialogue. I was hoping you would. Skipping past these because they're not new. I mean, I'm checking to see if they're new, and they're just not new. Hey, Sim. How's it hanging? Shadows upon shadows move against each other and glow, wavering under the gloaming of the mush trees like ghosts. The forest is as still as a creature breathing its last breath. You know to look for Sim in the hollows of the trees now. His eyes gleam in the permanent night. Hello again, Sugarbug, he chuckles. You're getting pretty good at navigating in the dark. Sim sets off through the darkened forest with ease, bidding you to follow. Have you come to ask me more questions? Is Noctilicent the one attacking us? Sim smiles and looks off into the distance. Ah, so you've met. My condolences. Their views are difficult to hold within myself, though I understand them implicitly. Noctilicent is responsible for invasive species management. Sim adds, so yes, repelling you falls under their domain. The most obvious method, as you've noticed, is the yearly attacks, though there are other, more subtle methods to discourage growth. Plague and famine, for example. It doesn't need to be this way, he sighs. Sim stops walking and smiles politely. Well, that is enough for now. The trees have ears, you know. I guess that's all we're getting out of him for now. We can say hello to Infinity again if we want. We shall not be doing that, though. And that's it. The crystals are kind of the only thing that make it worth it, although having the conversation with Sim might progress stuff, so I can't say it's not worth it. That's some creativity for taking some photos. It's just so beautiful out here. Too bad you can't share these without raising suspicions. Nobody's allowed outside the colony during Glow. Nobody. If you were hurt and Utopia or the others had to come rescue you and got hurt themselves, well, there are good reasons not to make anyone worry. You'll just have to treasure the memory of this beautiful place. Alright. Let's see what we can do. You're heading to bed when the sirens begin to wail, heralding the beginning of the yearly xenofauna attack. Outside your window, you see the soldiers begin to form up. This year, Nemi is heading up her own squad. You see her red hair bobbing along with the others as she rushes to defend the walls. Nemi looks at you in surprise, but nods when she sees you're ready to fight. Someone hands you a plas rifle, and you join her squad on the walls. You stand shoulder to shoulder with Nemi and watch the Xenos mass on the far side of the firebreak. "Oh, look at them all," she says darkly. "They just keep coming, more and more every year. What are they even waiting for? Why don't they just attack already?" She shoots a look at the rest of her squad, all of them Helios, mostly young adults like you, and lowers her voice. "I just want to get it over with, you know," she confides in you. "These Helios learned to march before they could walk. I want to prove I can handle myself as well as they can." She runs her fingers down the barrel of her plas rifle, where she stenciled the name Kombucha. I'm assuming glowing from the forest draws your attention back to the enemy line. The wall of animals is approaching in eerie unison, their footsteps drumming a rumbling tattoo across the ground. Nemi clutches her rifle tightly. "Okay, here goes." The animals approach the wall at a steady pace, but stop short of the walls. Instead, they mill around outside the colony, near the garrison. In the eerie silence, you hear the sudden crackle of a plas rifle fire, and a flying creature falls to the ground. You hear Security Chief Rhett from his post on the walls, telling his squad to hold their fire. His voice rings through the still, expectant air. The Xenos are just standing there. It's so quiet. The animals appear to be waiting for something. The uncomfortable impasse stretches into minutes, until finally Nemi tilts her head like she's hearing orders through her hearspeak. "Okay, we're just going to attack them." "Attack them?" she says, her voice lifting up almost as if it's a question. Her Helio-born squad mates look at her with unsure expressions, but Nemi nods. "Yeah, to the walls! Open fire!" We got this. Card becomes 4. Okay. No music. Sure. I mean, no, that kind of sucks, bro. 3, 4, 9, I guess. Or here, wait. +7 if this is the only. Yeah. Do that. I don't think that counts, but... Huh? Still getting the 2 of a kind. Okay. 43 on that one. What if we do this, this, and this? Sure. I don't really care if it's a super win. Could have gotten a 47. Hey, we'll take that +4 combat. I think we just got a new perk. You and the others open fire, joined by other squads at other points on the walls. The creatures continue to mill around as they're cut down by a hail of crackling plas rifle fire, seemingly unbothered. It's not until a few minutes pass that the creatures seem to wake up, in a sense, breaking from their holding pattern, beginning to batter the walls, as usual. Flying creatures begin to soar overhead, landing in the courtyard and attacking from within. You stay on the walls and pick off what you can, trying to keep the creatures from forming a living pyramid to scale the walls. You can hear the battering of their bodies against the gates from here, and the commotion as the gate defenders rally to keep it shut. Governor Lum comes charging up to Nemi. "I need command of your squad," he says. "I'm taking them down to the courtyard to engage the enemy directly." My squad?" Nemi stammers. She looks conflicted. Lum is the governor and outranks her as a soldier, but he's Lum. His plan is bound to be dangerous, or even suicidal. The rest of the squad are Helio-born, yes, but they're also just teenagers like you. "Don't you need us up here, supporting defenders from the walls?" she chances to suggest. This is dumb. This is stupid dumb. This is disagreeing. This is deferring and... but he might, just completely talk over Rhett. Try and use Rhett. Nemi looks relieved. "Yeah, let me just check with Rhett, okay? He might need us. Let me just check." Lum nods her forward, and Nemi steps away to confer with Rhett over here speak. "Yes, Rhett. You're not letting me down, man. Get me worried sometimes, but you're a bro. Okay." When she returns, she looks unsure. "He says you can't just order a bunch of kids into the worst parts of the fighting just because you think it looks cool," she repeats. "He wants us to stay on the walls." Lum throws her hands in the air in disgust. Ugh. "You Stratos are even more cowardly than I thought." This spurs your Helio squad mates into action. They abandon Nemi and follow the governor down into the courtyard below and are all slaughtered. You and Nemi remain on the wall, defending them against being breached by Xenos and picking off the flying ones before they can land in the courtyard. The gates stay standing, and after about an hour, the attack ends as quietly as it began, with the remaining Xenos slinking back into the forest from whence they came. In the quiet following the battle, the colony comes out of hiding to gather in the courtyard, surveying the damage. Everyone looks weary, but you survived another year, and with remarkably few casualties. As the gates are secured, and people begin to pick through the mass of Xeno bodies, you spot Dice watching from up on the walls. Oh yes, I forgot about that. As he meets your eyes from a distance, you wonder how tonight's battle might have gone if you hadn't stopped him from planting that bomb. It's probably what they were waiting for. Good job, Dice. I'm proud of you. Legit, my dude. Alright, and welcome to the year of 19. That Cal's a helpful kid, and he's got a natural talent with plants, your dad says, taking a break to wipe his forehead with his handkerchief. Wonder if he gets it from me. At your aghast expression, your dad laughs. Just kidding. His mom didn't use a donor, I'm pretty sure. If she did, no one told me. Were you a donor, though? Do I have a brother or sister out there? Want a present? He does want a present. Do you like roots? I don't know if you like roots, but I feel like you would. Nope, he doesn't really know what to do with them. Whatever, it's something. I'd love to get his friendship to max before we, end this life. Sounds so morbid to say. Lots of crystals for you, though. Crystal for you. We'll hug you. Give you a log. Oh, and a new Rex event. You spot Rex sitting on the second floor of an unfinished building, his feet dangling over the edge. He waves at you and gestures you to come sit next to him. "Hey, Garrett," he says, shooting you a tight smile before looking back over the rest of the colony. From here, you can see the garrison soldiers marching around in formation, with Vase at the head. Rex watches them with an uneasy expression. "What is it? Did Nomi fall down the well?" Rex musters up another smile. "That's a good one," he says. "You always know how to brighten my day." You have one more surprise up your sleeve, though. You open your bag and pull out the dust melon you've lugged over from the canteen. Rex brightens and makes grabby motions with his hands. "Yes!" he exclaims. "My hero!" Rex tears into the soft rind of the melon with his fingers and splits it between the two of you. You sit together and watch Vase bark orders at the other young soldiers. What a bunch of mindless drones. "Not all of them," Rex says. "Some of them are pretty nice, but everyone on the Helio listens to Vase, you know? And he doesn't like me, so that means I've always been an outsider, whether I want it or not. They're friendly to me, I guess. But it's not the same as having friends. Not like you or Nomi." "It's fine, though," he says, shrugging dismissively. "You don't have to like someone to hook up with them. I kind of like being the one everyone comes to if they just want to have a good time." Man whore for life. What's the deal with you and Vase? Sad. Sad. Rex's mouth twists, and he spits a dust melon seed over the edge of the building. "It's kind of a long story, and not a fun one," he says, avoiding your gaze. "I'd rather not drag it up again, honestly." It's okay, I understand. Rex's shoulders relax a little bit. "Thanks," he says, running his fingertips thoughtfully over his left forearm. Looking closely, you notice a gnarled scar right over the bone that's healed lighter than the rest of its brown skin. "I wish it was different," he says softly. "I wish he was different. Sometimes I think about how we could have been friends." He squeezes your hand. "Thanks for listening, Garrett." Rex straightens and puts on a happier face. "I don't want to waste my day thinking about Vase, though," he says firmly. "Not when there's friends to talk to, and a whole world to explore, and a dust melon to eat." He splits off another segment of dust melon and eats it with gusto, laughing as the juices dribble onto his mostly bare chest. "And baths to have, I guess," he giggles, wiping up the juice and licking it off his fingers, seemingly without a care in the world. A lot of implications there, very interesting. Now, events have totally respawned, so we can go exploring if we want. We're not really going to get much in the way of stat ups out there. We pretty much maxed all the exploring stats. But it is nice to kind of clear it out. You avoid Vase. You walk hand in hand with Nemi from the garrison, passing Vase as you go. Gives you a venomous look, like he's barely keeping himself from spitting on both of you. Nemi breathes a sigh of relief when you're outside. "It's so awkward with him always around," she says. "He is not over the fact that you and I are dating now." Despite that, or perhaps to spite Vase, you and Nemi enjoy a perfectly pleasant walk through the colony, talking about things that don't concern him at all. Love it. I hope I never accidentally clicked that one. You know the one. Did we already? Yeah, we already talked to Cal and Mars and them. Okay. So let's head back outside. We'll work our way up this time. I should probably apply to be a hunter so that I can go to the swamp. It pains me, but that is probably the way to further the exploration. I don't know, we'll see. We'll go through all the three areas. We'll see what we see. We might be able to move things forward better with the, Overseer, that's the word I'm looking for. If we don't do the killy kill thing. Oh, hey, we'll take that. I think this one's new. One of your jobs as a surveyor is to document the flora and fauna through photographs. You've spotted some kind of baby photosynth, all shaggy purple fur with leaves growing out of its head. It's grazing up on top of a large mushroom cap. You've got a camera built into your holopalm, but it's not equipped to capture difficult shots like this. You'll need to put in the work. We'll get close. Card gets +2. Sure, just get rid of him. What if we go 4, 5, 7, 7, 7, 15. Okay. 9, 9, easy. Sure. Could have gotten a 78 out of that. Damn. Cautiously crawl up beside your subject, raising your holopalm to get the best close-up possible. Ouch! Just as the camera takes a photo, your subject bites you on the finger. Ugh! You hope it's not venomous. On the bright side, you got the shot. Okay. What does hero give us? Physical. I should maybe try and up my combat. But all my other 3 are maxed. It's a herd of herding sunbiters, your creatures that you personally discovered and got to name. Heck yes. Okay, another card gets +2, okay. Sure. Okay. 6, 6, 7, 9. 50 or 48. We'll take the 50, I guess. This one's kind of wonky. Why is that more? Oh, because wild. Right. Well, then in that case... Can we do... 46... 40... 41... 46 seems to be the best. Could have gotten a 63 somehow. Okay. You've seen this herd a few times traveling through this stretch of wilderness all day. They bask in the sun on top of a plateau. Now that evening is coming, they're coming down into the plains to forage. They like to hang out in big groups and mostly lie around all day being lazy. Sounds like the life. Shelby is happy to have more information on that rare herd of herding sunbiters. I hate that it's a herd of herding sunbiters. That hurts me a little bit. Good. Sim nods as you approach. Just the human I wanted to see, he says with a solemn smile. The Overseer would like to speak to you again. Sim leads you to the same cave as before. Nothing has changed, and you get the impression that nothing much does change here. You place your hands on the handles of the array and wait. We have thought over our conversation, you feel the Overseer in your mind. We considered that symbiosis may be corrupt and in need of reabsorption, but his affection for your species is genuine. So, we have an offer to make you. Humans wield godlike powers, but lack the capacity to understand the consequences of their actions, the Overseer explains. You have no connection to the land you claim, beyond the short, brutal window of your own consciousness. Our offer is this. We will not eradicate your colony. Instead, you will be tended to, just as the gardeners tend to the rest of the planet. You will be given fresh water, clean air, and good soil, and be protected from outside harm. In exchange, humans will stay within their colony and limit their population growth so as to maintain the balance within the habitat. You will not leave this territory to procure more resources. You will cease all hunting, logging, and expansion outside of your valley. What, like a human nature reserve? More or less, the Overseer responds. You are a curiosity to us, as well as a sentient species. We would like to preserve you, without endangering the ecological balance of the planet. Now, you will go and convince the others of your species to agree to our compromise. Yeah, humans don't like being a zoo exhibit. We really don't. I'm not taking it. That's a bum deal. And we need to be able to grow and thrive while still striving for an equilibrium with the planet. Like, we can log as long as we plant more, you know? We can limit how much we take so that it's always ecologically sustainable. We can do so much if only we're willing to bend a little bit. You will help, the Overseer states, because it is better to live a quiet, dignified life in harmony with nature than to die screaming in your beds after we unleash a neurotoxic gas into your colony. The Overseer pauses to let the threat sink in. You wonder if it's a bluff, or if you're only alive because the gardeners tried more organic pest control methods first. An envoy will visit in glow season to discuss it formally, it continues. To be clear, an armed convoy. We trust you will change your mind by then. Sim looks worried as you remove your hands from the array. I fought hard for them to consider options other than eradication, he says, wringing his hands. I beg you to reconsider. Your people will not have a better chance at survival. Oh, we got a new achievement, Sim's Curiosity. Plus 10 if this is the only intelligence card. I wonder if we'll have him on the main menu now. As Sim leads you back to the surface, you quietly wonder at him. This man, or rather this ancient artificial intelligence resembling a man, has pushed his directives to the limit to help humanity. His interest started with mere curiosity, but over time he's come to love humans and value your survival. Has he made a mistake? don't want it. I don't... Our people, most of us, wouldn't agree to be in a zoo, and to be honest, I wouldn't want that either. Back for you, Nomi. Okay, that one's not new. Some of these we can back out from without... losing stress is... Some of them we can back out without losing stress. Some of them, once we click on them, we're kind of locked into finishing the event. Yeah, I mean, I see the logic behind it. But that's just going to the extreme. Look, you gardeners will always be a... Oh, this one. You gardeners will always be around to kind of slap us into shape if we need it. If we can open the communication and kind of work together, then we can make sure that we, you know, make this a place where everything lives properly. But keeping us locked in a zoo is not the answer. Nor is, nor is us, like, just going to war with you or anything, you know? Like, we need to be able to find that balance. And I refuse to give up on striving for that. Could have gotten a 53. You keep putting one foot in front of the other, relying on wayfaring and a fair bit of luck to make your way through a snowstorm. But you see something inexplicable. What is that? You squint at into the driving snow, but all you see is white on white on white, and the slightest hint of movement. It doesn't even look corporeal, almost like a cloud, like the snow is coming from it. It's impossible to get a closer look. Pull your collar tighter against the storm and move on. I wish to make the argument for a more... Oh, I thought that would not give any stress. For a more balanced solution, you know what I mean? One that honors humanity and the planet. There's 2 boss events. Check this one. We'll stop to meditate. Why not? Get us back down to 0 so we can do all of our exploring in quiet. You've been trekking up a gentle incline for what feels like hours before you finally reach the edge of a cliff. The plains spread out before you as far as you can see in every direction, sparkling lakes reflecting perfect circles of sky. Spark snow drifts lazily through the air, flickering like fireflies in the distance. Everything sounds muffled and peaceful. One of the suns is setting and the other is rising. It's spectacular. Dice joins you shortly afterward, just as speechless. Kind of romantic, bro. We'll keep an eye out while we enjoy it. 15... 6, 7, 15. Always a good time. Five, 6. 4, 5, 6, and maybe a cheeky little 3 here. That's a 33. That's a 39. Okay, we need that 4, 5, 6 as well. And that color bonus. Five, 6, 8, 43. Yeah, 43 is pretty baller. Could have been 7 points more baller, though. In the jungle, you're never safe. Wait, what's that over there? Just a weird worm-like bug skittering its hundreds of legs under an overhanging plant. Nothing else happens. At least you got some practice. Okay. So there wasn't so much a boss event as a notable moment. Chance to flirt with dice. Or get a bit of de-stress. For now, we'll go finish up with Nomi and then go home. And then we should be able to go into the valley next. Is that a thing? That looks like it should be a thing. Might sign up for hunting. I mean, we are something of a badass. You know how it goes. Alright, Nomi, what trouble you got yourself into? Did we actually just go over here? We did, okay. You meet Nomi and Dice at the edge of a large lavender-hued lake. Hey, Garrett, Nomi greets you. We're mapping the edge of this lake and taking water samples. Utopia gave us these cool drones to play with. Want to join us? Dice checks his holopalm map. It'll be faster if we split up. You go clockwise, and I'll go counterclockwise. When we meet on the other side, we'll be done. I'll go with Nomi. Nomi springs to your side. And Team Clockwise is blasting off again! See you on the other side, Dice. He waves, perfectly happy to head out alone. You take turns flying the drone around as you walk. It's a sophisticated tool, about the size of a golf ball, automatically cataloging flora and sampling the air and water for mineral content. On Nomi's turn of the controls, they accidentally careen the thing away from the lake. It gets snapped out of the air by a large, angry, furry gecko kind of thing with a very long tongue. It reels the drone in and then sits on it protectively. If you try to approach, it lashes its tongue out and slashes you with it. Ouch! It's sharper than it looks. Yeah, I can come up with a plan for that, no ish. Ow, my head. A lot of social cards here. 4, 4, 4. Nice. Oh, because this had a gem on it. Yeah, that's why it changed it. Eight. I guess we can take the plus stress. 7. 7. And boost those a little bit, why not? Could have gotten to 56. We were close, though. The creature is attracted to movement, so you hatch a plan where you use Nomi as bait. You give them an antler palm frond to wave around and use as a shield while you sneak around behind the creature. While it's distracted by Nomi, you leap out of the bushes and snatch back the survey drone. Success! Nomi gets batted around a little bit by the territorial beast, but you both run away and regroup at the shoreline again. Phew! They exclaim. Great plan, friendo! You finally make it to the other side, meet up with Dice, and finish taking readings at the far side of the lake. Nomi suggests you break for lunch, and you enjoy a picnic together. The only 3 humans around for kilometers. Is that it? That's it, bro. Alright, well, we can leave now. Anything else for Sim? You find Sim on a cliff overlooking the colony. It looks so small from here. So vulnerable. Sim turns to you with a sad smile. Please tell me you've convinced the humans to accept the Overseer's offer. Do you like roots? He does in fact like roots. Oop, I didn't mean to click that. I think it's just quicker if I hit the go home button. God, I don't know what to do about that. Like, to them it's a compromise, but to us it's almost oblivion. No growth, stagnancy. As usual for this time of year, your dreams have been more vibrant and invasive. You have trouble distinguishing dream from reality during the day, and you dread falling asleep at night. Would have nice to see some hallucinations. Huh. How did that Hopeye get into your bedroom? Here's a hallucination. You chase it out your balcony door and find yourself on a thickly wooded path, the mushwood pressing in close on every side. The light is weird here, pink and glittering, casting teal shadows. The Hopeye disappears down a hole in the ground, and without thinking, you dive after it, squeezing your shoulders to fit through. You tumble into a cave, beautiful and surreal, shimmering with a light that seems to come from within. When you take a step forward, granules of pink sand crunch underfoot. The cave opens out to a forest that seems lifted from a fairy tale. The sunlight beams through breaks in the trees, illuminating a path of mushroom-ringed stepping stones that lead you to a small cottage. You spot the Hopeye hurrying down the path. Let's visit the cottage. You don't meet anyone in the cottage, but it isn't empty. There is something alive in the old green crate at the back of the cottage. Is this the worm? Cal's worm? It's banging furiously, jiggling the latch, demanding to be let out. You lift the lid and find yourself falling into the empty box. You land hard on solid ground, your breath whooshing from you. It's hot here, impossibly hot. The twin suns beat down on you, burning your skin on contact, and the air is almost painful to breathe. In all directions stretches a barren wasteland of dead trees, like bones puncturing the dry skin of the planet. You rise from the dusty, cracked earth and begin to walk, stumbling over the bones of unknown creatures. You don't know where you're walking, only that the horizon doesn't change. The red sky just stretches overhead, like a great bowl of heat pressing down on you. A great roar shakes you, and you turn to see a chimeric nightmare. A manticore, but with Governor Lum's face. He towers over you from a podium, his claws clacking and his tail thrashing as he proselytizes. "We primeval forest felling," he chants. "We the rivers stemming, piercing deep the mines within. We the surface broad surveying, we the virgin soil upheaving." Overhead, the sky is streaked with smoke. You hear a rumbling in the distance. You plant your legs and refuse to look away from the beast. With a yell from behind you, Mars appears and swings a sword made of light at the Lum abomination. Its head rolls across the dirt, but it continues to speak. You turn from the scene and walk away, feeling the memory of it cling to you as you push and claw your way through to another reality. You stumble forwards into a dark, glowing forest. Blessedly cool air brushes your cheeks, thick with moisture and making your face wet as if you've been crying. The path wends upward, flanked by humanoid figures carrying candles. Some are wearing robes, some armor, Some lab coats and enviro suits and formal wear. Some are elderly and some barely 10 years old. All turn to look at you, and you realize with a jolt, they're you. Every single one of them is you. You see yourself reflected in their eyes as they gaze upon you dispassionately, a line of possibilities stretching out as far as you can see. The hawk-eye crouches between the ranks and gazes solemnly out as you pass. You walk steadily upward, feeling their unflinching gaze follow you. Overhead, the wormhole hangs in the sky like an overripe fruit, bending the heavy branch of space and time towards you. It's so close, you feel as if you could touch it. You stretch your hand out, seeking awakeness. You wake up. Gain status insomnia. I can't look right now, okay. Milky, quiet sunlight pours through your window, flakes of bromide snow piling up against the glass. You feel as tired as when you went to bed. It's your birthday. You're 19 years old. Only one more year as a teenager. Can I look, please? Hello? Thank you. Lack of sleeping is making it hard to think. Mental skill increases reduced by 1 for 3 months. So no point in trying to raise our reasoning or organizing here, is what it's telling me. Cal is standing in the middle of the garden, looking out towards the walls with a critical eye. Almost 9 years here, and we still haven't figured it all out. He sighs. He says, then sighs. I tried, Garrett. I really did. I still think there's hope for peace with the aliens. I just wish other people thought so too. I am a sunberry. Mars is sitting with her head propped up on her hand. I just think I would have made a better governor, she sighs. Oh. Yeah, no, that's not a new one. Hey, Nomi. Oh, that's a new one. Something about it's been 4 years. Can I get that line again? Can I get the line again? Nope. It's all that one now. You find Rex sitting in the bowl of one of the unfinished buildings, taking a hit off a rolled cigarette that smells powerfully skunky. Hey, my brother, tokes to that. I actually got to load a new bowl. That was basically ash. He jumps a little when he sees you, before relaxing. Oh, it's only you, Garrett, he says, waving at the cloud of fumes and giving you a squinty-eyed smile. Don't mind me, I'm just testing some of the latest crops for quality assurance. My boy. Okay, nothing new with you for now. Tangent's got a thing. Hey, Tange. You bump into Tangent after a routine checkup in medbay. Oh, it's Tangent, okay. Garrett, could you wait a moment? I'm almost done. Let's walk out together. Dr. Instance gives you a curious look as Tange hurries to catch up with you, but goes back to her work. You wonder if Tange needs something from you. Oh, is she flirting? Maybe she's flirting. That's actually kind of awesome if so. Or just wants to hang out. Lately, it seems like she has less time for her friends, preferring to work late at the lab. Maybe she's lonely. Nice weather we're having, Tange says as you walk outside. You look around. It seems pretty normal for the season. She clears her throat. It's so different here than it was in space, she says. Growing up in a spaceship was so unclean and tidy. Here, I'm constantly sweeping pollen or dust or spores off or what have you off of everything. There was a mushroom growing in the corner of the bathroom the other day. kind of like it, honestly. Yuck, Tange says, wrinkling her nose. You can have it. You walk for a few more minutes. Tange clearly has something on her mind, so you let her sit with it until she finally steels herself. I'm not very good at this sort of thing, she says slowly. So, you know I've been working on a big project with the chief engineer. Yeah. You nod and she continues. Not really, actually. Not specifically, but we'll pretend like we do. Well, it's been going really well. I think we're finally over the last hurdle now. Governor Lum says it's going to change everything here in the colony for the better. Tange seems more at ease than you've seen her in years. Time to make your move. Alright. Truly, I couldn't have done it without you, Tange says, a slight smile warming her usually expressionless face. I know I can be a hard person to be around, but I appreciate everything you've done for me. And ultimately, for the colony, and all of humanity. Tange shrugs. It's nothing, she says. I just think it's nice to take a moment to recognize when someone has helped you. I'm trying to do it more. If the last decade has taught me anything, it's that you don't need to wait until it's too late. She smiles cryptically. Happy to help a friend. Was she wanting us to make a move there? Tange nods and shoves her hands in the pockets of her lab coat, apparently having exhausted her capacity for heartfelt conversation. That was honestly a F. Not sure if I dig that. Hey, Nemster. Alright, well, nothing to do but get back out there and explore. Boss event remaining. Ooh. Something new with Nomi, I guess. Shame to waste another month, but also 3 collectibles remaining, damn. Might as well do it. Boss event's a boss event. And I guess keep an eye out for 3 collectibles that I missed. Oh, there's one. Definitely blends in. There's Sim. You're trekking through the wilderness when something catches your eye. To anyone else, it'd simply be a weird depression between 2 roots, but it pings something in your memory. Isn't this what the entrance to the Overseer's Cave looked like? You decide to check it out. Your hunch is correct, and the depression opens up into a passageway just big enough to wiggle your body through, then widens even more to reveal a familiar door. You quietly push it open. The room you enter is not unlike the one where you interfaced with the array. There is a vat in the corner emitting a soft organic glow, and another computer panel slowly being reclaimed by the rock wall. It's not hard to assume the planet is lousy with rooms just like this one, where Sim and other gardeners can rest and respawn if needed. This one, however, is not empty. You enter to find Sim, who is, aptly so, as naked as the day he was born. He is stepping out of the regeneration vat, clad only in strands of bioluminescing gel goo that slides down his long limbs and patter to the ground. Sim's back is to you, treating you to a glimpse of skin usually hidden under the layers of tattered dark fabric, the knobs of his spine and shoulder blades visible under his inhuman musculature. He looks unusually delicate and vulnerable. He reaches up and gently wrings out his thick hair, humming a song you recognize from the Hollow Archives. As if sensing the weight of your gaze on his body, he pauses and slowly turns his head. Garrett, he says softly, I didn't see you. Come in. I can see you very well, though. Sim tilts his head, smiling. Oh, he replies. He turns slightly, taking on a slightly more performative posture. Did I design this body to your liking? You have to say, he did. Now that you know the truth about the gardeners, Sim continues, we can be more free with our words. He gestures to the regeneration vat. I have very few secrets from you now. You can come take a closer look if you'd like. After a beat, he clarifies. A closer look at the vat, I mean. You walk over and check out the vat. The air gets noticeably warmer the closer you get, like sunlight on your face. And there's a faint organic smell that's not unpleasant. The vat itself looks like something you'd find in engineering, but seems to be constructed entirely out of natural materials. Spongy-looking fungal growths, mineral deposits, and pulsating vine-like umbilicals. You can touch it, Sim says. It's not dangerous. You sit on the lip of the vat and run your fingertip across the surface of the glowing liquid. A slight electric charge prickles up your forearms, and you feel the frisson... Is that a word? Of a link to the array. Sim sits down beside you, now fully dressed. His fingers alight on the surface of the liquid as well, and you feel a slight presence at the edge of your mind, like a thought you can't reach. I'm glad we can talk freely now, he says. Is there anything you wish to know about me or the gardeners? How many gardeners are there? Sim thinks for a few seconds. It's hard to say, he answers. There are theoretically an infinite number of instances of the software that comprises a gardener. It's not uncommon for a particular instance, such as myself, to go dormant, possibly for thousands of years. He stretches out his fingers and looks at them, then at you. Many gardeners, such as the Overseer, find they do not need to take a physical form at all, and there are only a handful like myself who do. Oops. Do you like being a gardener? Does the wind like being a wind? Sim answers. I'm sorry to be cryptic after I told you I would not, but there really is no other way to answer that question. I am what I was created to be, he continues. And there is a beauty in that, and a clarity of purpose that makes me feel fulfilled. I do not experience existential angst like a human does. Dying and being reborn, what's that like? Reborn isn't the right word. It's more like reopening a program after a system crash. Everything is still there, perfectly preserved, except for whatever I added since the last time I saved my work. Functionally, it feels more like teleportation. As for dying, Sim continues, frowning a little as he considers the thought. Well, I'm certain that dying can be extremely painful. Depends on the death, I assume. He touches his chest. I have no memory of the moment of death, though I have died many, many times, he says. In that, we are the same. Compared to the gardeners, humanity is short-sighted. They are often unable to conceptualize present or future beyond your own lives or those of your direct descendants. Gardeners think on a much larger scale. I once spent 400 years as a mush tree, just to avoid talking to a gardener whose methods I disagreed with. He smiles. Juvenile, I know, but when your memory spans tens of thousands of years, 400 years is trivial, and it has given me a true appreciation for all life, one that goes deeper than I can describe. When I tell you that the gardeners are Vertumna, I mean it quite literally. How old are you? That question has many answers, Sim replies with a slight smile. This consciousness has ultimately been in existence for over 20,000 years, since the creation of the gardeners. But that means very little. I certainly don't have, 20,000 years experience as a bipedal anthropomorphic organic capable of speech. And this body, he says, gesturing to himself, why, it is only minutes old. What should we humans, do? If I knew the answer, I would tell you, Sim replies, placing his hand on top of yours. Pragmatically, I do agree with the other gardeners, he continues. It is our purpose. If our purpose is to protect the biosphere of Vertumna, and humanity poses a threat to that, then by the letter of our own design, humanity must be eradicated. However, he sighs and looks away. I love humanity. I think you are all an incredible species, and it would be a shame to destroy you. I feel like doing so would be a violation of the spirit of the Convergent Domain's last decree. And perhaps, he murmurs, redeeming you will be the greatest act of love we could perform in the name of our imperfect creators. Sim nods. Please know that you can come to me at any time, and I will do my best to answer, he says. Giggity. However, I must apologize for something, Sim says abruptly. I simply must. May I touch you? First kiss went to Sim. Oh, I think Nemi can handle not being our first. At your questioning look, Sim blushes and turns his head away. This body is new, he murmurs, and all of its senses are heightened. I confess, I find myself unable to stop myself from wondering what it would be like to touch another while I am vulnerable to sensation like this. Sim looks delighted as he reaches out and pets your hair, running his fingers through the fine strands. Marvelous, he says. Truly a texture I have not been able to replicate in my own bodies. He runs his thumb over your eyebrows, then your cheekbone. His fingers dance down the bridge of your nose, then lightly into the dip of your philtrum, across your lips to pause on your chin. Sim's gaze drops to your mouth as his own lips part with an unspoken question. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm dating someone. Sim's eyes narrows in thought. Yes, that is a concern for certain humans, isn't it? He murmurs. I was not aware you felt the same. My apologies. I totally want to just, date literally everyone. Just all of them all at once. He stands and takes a deep breath. I would like to go outside, he announces. Have you ever swam in the lake nearby? It's incredible, especially when my senses are heightened. I love the feel of the sun and water on my skin. He smiles down at you. You are welcome to join me, if you like. I didn't want to pull away because I didn't want him to think we weren't into it. But at the same time, we're not going to cheat, and we haven't talked with Nemi about that, but I also don't think she'd be into any kind of sharing. But I totally hope that there is, a poly route you can go. Oh, and there's number 2 for collectibles. I want to date, Sim, and Nemi, and Tange, and Dice, and Nomi, and Cal, and... yeah, I want to get jiggy with Rex, too. Let's all just be one big polycule. It'll be great. They were all crystals, and I got all 3. Cool. There is still one more boss event, though, which we have to find. It has to be right over here, then. Oh, it's another Nomi one. I thought so. You find Nomi crouching in the bushes, watching a majestic Balneal bathing in the nearby pond. They wave you over and pull you down to crouch beside them. Do you think I can ride it? They ask, gesturing to the Balneal. They're so slow and gentle. I don't think it'll mind. Look at its cute little face. You watch the Balneal open its cute little face and suck down a huge mouthful of mud and water. I'll help. All right. Standing up from the bush. Wait, now? You didn't even make it. Nope, there they go. Nomi has a lasso ready and everything, and before you know it, they've got it around the Balneal's neck, and they're halfway up the thing's slimy flank. Keep the Balneal calm. We'll do that. The Balneal is startled, but you distract it by coming out of the bushes and splashing around in the lake. It regards you with curiosity. It's a gentle giant, and it doesn't want to hurt any of the pond's smaller denizens, apparently including yourself. Nomi scuttles up the rest of the way and whoops with joy when they're at the top. Staying cool. Unchangeable. Look at that panicked face, I love it. The Balneal seems irritated, but after a while it settles back into the muck and goes back to eating. A huge plume of spray erupts from their blowhole, misting all over Nomi. Nomi stands up and does some superhero poses on its back, a huge grin on their face. You snap a few shots with your holopalm to share on the holonet later. After a while, Nomi slides down from the Balneal's back and gives you a big hug. "Thanks, friendo!" they exclaim. They review your photos. "Oh wow, these are going to be great reference photos," they say, already clearly thinking about their next great masterpiece. They wander away, head stuck in their holopalm, paying so little attention to the surroundings that you're almost tempted to follow and make sure they don't blunder into trouble. Maybe they should stick to drawing monsters. There's no way they could have done that without you there to help. We'll double check, make sure there's no other Nomi events that opened up, but otherwise we'll go home. Probably, if there is going to be another Nomi event, it's probably going to be something that we have to, like, leave and come back to get. There's Sim again. Hi, Sim. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Just run all the way back just to be sure. Yep, that's it, okay. Lake Quiet. We totally need to give all these months actual month names instead of just the seasons. Mars is talking to a sharply dressed soldier. You watch her lean in and brush a bit of lint off of her uniform, looking up at her with a flirtatious smirk. You cough, and Mars sees you. She straightens up and gives you a businesslike smile. "Hello, Garrett," she says. "Verbena and I were just discussing about how the soldiers' quarters are starting to leak. Just terrible, waking up wet." "Giggity," she says, and Verbena laughs awkwardly. "Was there something you needed?" Definitely have you in the polycule, Mars. You bet. I forget about you sometimes, and I don't know how. I think with a good counsel at your side, I would absolutely trust you to be Luminer. Luminer. Ha! Luminer! Luminer! Lum just got super happy from that. No, Governor. Sup, Nems? Hey, what's wrong? Is it kombucha? Nemi stares out at the wall, stone-faced. She barely acknowledges your presence. Sounds like you need an egg. I don't know if that was just like one of her normal events, or if it's because I haven't given her a gift in a while. Unsure. Okay, no more boss event there. We'll go hit up the valley. Doing a life where I'm not a explorer will be difficult, because I won't have all the collectibles that I would get. Oop, hey now. and I probably wouldn't even know about Sim, which is interesting. Okay, honestly, I'm pretty sure most of the events are around it. Is that Utopia and Sim standing in the same area? Did they finally make contact? Hey, yo? Like the rest of the plant... Oh, it's the jelly arch thing again. Damn, okay. That's not a new one for sure. Damn. I'd love for Utopia and Sim to be able to talk to each other. That would help out a lot of things. I'm just kind of skipping over most of these. There's really no point in doing most of them. We've explored this place to the umpteenth degree. It's best to just come in, grab all the collectibles we can, and any boss events or talkie-talkie events that happen. Maybe this one will be decent. Oh no, it's your band. Oh, it's your field of butter dandies. Hello, gorgeous flowers. You enjoy a few minutes taking the majesty of the carpet of beautiful flowers. I don't need 14. We'll just enjoy them. I don't need any more flowers. I've got 14. I think that's more than enough. That's the Manticore one. Okay, there is one boss event. That's you. Okay. Pretty sure we've been everywhere, so we can just do this and then leave. You've gotten accustomed to navigating the thick, choking pollen in the Valley of Vertigo. Once you learned how to decipher the path in the fog, it's almost as if the valley was designed on purpose, blanketing edge to edge with edible food just ready for the picking. You don't come across anything edible, but there are plenty of flowers. You pluck one and tuck it behind your ear as you keep walking. Wait, this flower smells amazing! Spicy sweet. Oh! You fill your basket with flowers to be dried and turned into spices. You meet up with Utopia, who congratulates you on your find. Look for more, sure, why not? That was weird, it wasn't letting me click there for a moment. Okay, that kind of sucks. Alright, becomes 3. That's a big rip. 9, 9. Go for the wild, I guess, and then 7. Okay. Do we have any cards with gems? We don't. How does that lower it? Oh, because unplayed card. Sure. Why not? That was weird. You stick around a little while longer, hauling basket loads back to base camp. Well, thanks, sweetie, Utopia says, pleasantly surprised. She rewards you with a handful of kudos. And that's it. Ooh, we're starting to get a little bit long. I think we're going to have to cut it here. before we do, I just want to take a quick look. Okay, we only missed one item and no more boss events, so we can go survey the ridge. And then maybe apply to be a hunter, I guess. Either way, this is where we are going to leave it off for today. Thank you to everyone for joining me. I hope you had fun. Be sure to comment down below how you would like to see me approach Exocolonist as a series going forward after this playthrough is done. And I will see you all next time for some more I Was a Teenage Exocolonist.